Sarah always believed that life would follow the path she imagined: study hard, graduate, find a good job, and live independently. But reality had other plans. Her father had passed away when she was only 16, and her mother's income barely covered the household expenses. College fees, rent, and bills became a constant source of stress, and Sarah often stayed up late worrying about how she would manage. One evening, while attending a charity event to help fund her education, she met Mr. James, a wealthy businessman twice her age. His presence was commanding yet kind. Initially, Sarah thought it was just a casual encounter, but Mr. James's polite attention and subtle offers of assistance soon grew into something she hadn't expected: a proposal for financial support with conditions that included marriage. The idea terrified her. Marrying someone she barely knew, especially a man old enough to be her father, seemed absurd and morally complicated. But the thought of being able to continue her education, pay her bills, and give her mother relief from constant worry made her pause. Every night, she weighed the decision, thinking about her dreams and the harsh reality surrounding her. Friends warned her against the arrangement, saying she would lose freedom and face judgment from society. Yet, Sarah reminded herself that life was not always fair, and sometimes survival required difficult choices. As the days passed, the relationship between Sarah and Mr. James grew slowly. He was not just a provider but a man with patience, intelligence, and surprisingly, kindness. He guided her through financial decisions, encouraged her studies, and even listened to her personal worries. Still, the idea of marrying him felt like walking a tightrope. Would she find happiness in this unusual arrangement? Or would it be a life of regret? Sarah finally decided to trust her instincts. She accepted the proposal, determined to keep her independence intact while embracing the opportunity. That night, she wrote in her journal, capturing her conflicting emotions, fears, and cautious hope. This was not just a marriage, it was a strategic choice, a lifeline, and perhaps, the beginning of an unexpected journey toward maturity and understanding. Life with Mr. James was a whirlwind. Sarah moved into his luxury apartment and found herself surrounded by wealth she had only dreamed of. Expensive furniture, designer clothes, and fine dining became her new reality. At first, she felt uncomfortable and guilty, questioning whether she deserved such a life. The whispers from her friends haunted her, but she reminded herself of her reasons: education, security, and helping her mother. Each day, Sarah balanced schoolwork with social obligations, often attending events she never imagined she would. Mr. James was strict about certain rules but also surprisingly caring. He encouraged her independence and never forced her into situations she was uncomfortable with. Slowly, Sarah noticed a human side to him. Beneath the wealthy exterior was a lonely man who genuinely wanted her happiness. He shared stories of his own struggles, his regrets, and his long search for meaningful connection. These moments made Sarah reconsider her initial assumptions, and she began to develop respect and even affection for him, though she was careful to separate it from romantic love. The routine, however, was not without its challenges. Sarah missed the simplicity of her old life: her friends, casual walks, and freedom to make mistakes. She often stayed up late writing in her journal, documenting her feelings, ambitions, and doubts. Every decision seemed monumental, from choosing which social event to attend to negotiating her personal space. Yet, each challenge taught her resilience, patience, and emotional intelligence. Gradually, Sarah's confidence grew. She learned to navigate the luxury world with grace and to assert her opinions respectfully. She understood that marrying a sugar daddy was never just about money, it was about strategy, adaptability, and the ability to make difficult choices without losing herself. Through every challenge, Sarah began to recognize her own strength and determination. Months passed, and Sarah had fully adapted to her new life. The initial awkwardness had faded, replaced by a sense of confidence she had never known. She attended Mr. James's business dinners and social gatherings with poise, catching the admiration of other guests who appreciated her intelligence, charm, and elegance. Yet, the emotional complexity of her situation never left her. Sarah often wondered whether her feelings toward Mr. James were genuine affection or just gratitude mixed with comfort and security. Despite her growing adaptability, there were moments of doubt. She missed her old friends, her late-night study sessions, and the freedom to make mistakes without scrutiny. Sometimes, she longed for a simpler life, where her decisions weren't constantly influenced by judgment or luxury. Yet, these moments made her stronger, teaching her the value of perseverance, self-reflection, and prioritizing what mattered most. Sarah's education progressed well, and she began envisioning a future where her hard work could pay off independently of Mr. James. She realized that her marriage arrangement did not define her. Her actions, choices, and dedication to her goals did. The world might label her decisions, but she knew that survival sometimes demanded unconventional paths. The relationship between Sarah and Mr. James evolved slowly into a bond of mutual respect. They shared discussions about life, family, and personal goals. He was no longer just a provider, he was a mentor and a companion who valued her intelligence and perspective. Sarah understood that life was nuanced, filled with both compromises and victories. Her journey revealed lessons that no textbook or classroom could ever teach: resilience, strategic decision-making, and the delicate balance between independence and reliance. Sarah's story reached a critical turning point when Mr. James proposed that she move with him to another city, offering even greater luxury and comfort. The offer was tempting, but it meant interrupting her studies and putting her long-term goals at risk. She reflected deeply, considering everything she had achieved, every lesson learned, and the dreams she was still pursuing. After long discussions, Sarah proposed a compromise. She would continue her education while remaining close to Mr. James, balancing personal growth with the benefits of the arrangement. Surprisingly, he respected her decision, showing that their bond was built on understanding, trust, and mutual respect rather than mere convenience. Sarah realized that life was not simply about money or age, it was about choices, courage, and learning to navigate complex emotional and societal landscapes. Through this journey, Sarah discovered her inner strength and developed a newfound confidence. She learned that unconventional paths could still lead to meaningful outcomes, and that compromise and negotiation could preserve both independence and stability. Her life had become a lesson in strategy, courage, and personal growth, proving that survival and self-respect could coexist in even the most unusual circumstances. If you want to follow Sarah's inspiring journey and learn how she balances love, survival, and independence, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Her story is real, emotional, and filled with life lessons that everyone can relate to.